May the circle be open, but
Hi everybody. Someone was just asking me the other day about poppets and working with them, and so I thought I would put into this quick little video how I make simple poppets that I just need to make very quickly and get it activated right away. No need to have a lot of details, as these are just used for quick, short spells or energy work. What you would need is just a piece of, two pieces of felt, just some squares that you can get at the craft store. I use a piece of thin cardboard, like recycled Bristol board or a file folder, to use as my pattern, and a pair of scissors and needle and thread. Then we will need some herbs, some vanishing herbs, or herbs that are appropriate for what you need the work to be done with. And then I use some moss as stuffing. So anyway, so first of all, you would cut out a pattern. I have a basic pattern that I keep in my filing cabinet, file ready to go, of the shape of a figure that I will trace out onto a piece of Bristol board, and that way I have a permanent pattern. I use the Bristol board just because it's a little stiffer and doesn't rip as easy. So once I have this cut out and I have my pattern, I place it onto the felt, and then I trace with a piece of chalk or pencil or whatever I have handy, trace it out onto the felt, and then cut out my felt figures. Once my figures are made, then I lay it down and I begin stuffing it with the stuffing that I'm going to be using for the spell. Now, usually I use sheet moss because that is so readily available to me, and it holds energy, and it's a natural, and it has no preserves in it, and all that sort of stuff, and it blends well. It's pretty neutral with the other herbs. So as you see here, I just place it down. You don't need a lot, just enough to give it a little bit of strength and to hold any of the herbs that you're going to be using. In this one, I'm using a vanishing blend. So I just start at one end. Usually, well, in this one, I'm starting down the feet and working my way up. So I place it down, and then you just doing a slip stitch, just slip stitching along the side to hold it in, so that it doesn't fall out. I don't use a sewing machine or anything. Just a simple slip stitch is fine, which is going up and over, under, and around. And once I've got that in, now to make it easier, what I do is I put the moss down and then sprinkle in the herbs. And as I'm putting the vanishing herbs or blend in, I am also holding the intention of what I want it for, what I'm working with. So that begins the process. And the fact that you're doing this by hand, the whole time that you're making this, a lot of your intent is already begun to take hold in the poppet. Once it's all sewn in, sealed up, then I begin to put just a couple of faces. Now, this particular one, I needed the eyes because with what I'm working with, this one is it's something that the person is seeing. It's a vision, which I'm going to be blocking, banishing the outlook. So here on this one, I definitely want to put the eyes on. It's an option if you don't have anything to do with vision or eyes and it's not appropriate. You don't even have to do that, because the whole point of this particular one is just a little bit of speed, because it was an urgent one to be done right away. So just cross stitches makes the eyes very simple, under, over, under, over. And once that was done, I then began to place my intention, holding the poppet in my hand, saying my chant of what I want the poppet to do. Now the poppet is holding the intention, it's holding the focus of the spell or the chant, the energy work that you're using it for. And so in this one, because I didn't want vision going out, so this is without giving too many details, I needed to stop this person from seeing something. And so I had to take some black ribbon and covered the eyes. So if you see how I've wrapped it, of course everybody's is going to be a little bit different because there's different purposes for each of your poppets. But anyway, so once I set my intention, spent some time with it, meditated with it, and I felt that everything was in it, I then took it to my altar, and again with the banishing incense, I then held it over my altar and putting more intention into it, and then smudging it with the banishing smudge. And that is basically it in a nutshell. That's very simple. Just know that this is holding your intent. What to do with it after that. This particular one, I ended up having to put into a box. Again, it's because of the intent that I have for this poppet. I put it in a little box and sealed it in, tied it in. And then every so often I had to pull it out, spend some more time with it, putting more intention in, more meditation, and working it. Again, that process depends on what your intent of this poppet is for. So there you go. I hope this helps in beginning of your poppet work, and I will talk to you again soon. Take care. Bye.